And tonight with some breaking news out of Washington this evening. Just moments ago, the newly elected Democratic-controlled House passed two bills to reopen the government and bring a halt to the federal shutdown after 2 weeks. The second bill passed 241 to 190. The House is now adjourned until 9 a.m. tomorrow. However, President Trump has vowed to veto these bills due to a lack of funding for a border wall. So for now, the partial government shutdown continues, and some people are concerned about future funding of local nonprofit programs that help women in need.
13 News reporter Lily Bradley has been working for you tonight. She joins us now live in the studio with more on how the shutdown could impact those in the Mountain State.
Jennifer, Pat, on a typical day, there are more than 20,000 phone calls placed to domestic violence support lines nationwide. It could be your mother, your daughter, your sister, your friend, maybe even you. The YWCA is one of the many nonprofits that answers the call for help here in Charleston. But the current shutdown has local leaders worried about the future of their funding.
For nonprofits that don't have funding set aside to help during really tough times, it's going to mean that they are going to have to lessen their services in order to keep their doors open.
For the last 14 days, more than 800,000 federal employees, agencies, and programs have been impacted nationwide, including many right here in our neighborhood.
We have 10 apartments that is transitional housing for victims of domestic violence and their children.
The YWCA's Alicia McCormick homes run exclusively on funding from the Violence Against Women Act, or VAWA.
10 apartments. We've got utilities to pay. We have food to help provide. It is an enormous expense.
VAWA was supposed to be continued for another 5 years by September. Instead, the law was extended until December 7th, then December 21st. Eventually, both the House and the Senate passed deals that extended VAWA funding until February 8th, but because of the dispute between members of both parties, it wasn't finalized.
Not to have the resources from the federal government to reimburse us is going to put us and many other nonprofits in a very difficult and challenging position.
Weinstein says it's not just VAWA funding at risk either. She says the YWCA relies on many other types of federal funding and grants as well. However, when it comes to the Violence Against Women Act funding in particular, grants already awarded under the previous law will not be affected. Instead, the uncertainty centers around the delay of future requests. Jennifer?